and welcome along to a brand new show, Rabbiting On. With me, Sam. I'm joined by Mr. Adam Chase.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Benson.
Hello.
Yeah, so we decided we'd do a little mini-sode for you. Just to...
Minisode.
Boo.
Boo. Boo this man.
Right, we won't then. Bye!
It's called a...
That was fun.
That was a minisode.
Yeah, very mini. Tiny
Mini
Samisode.
episode. A Samisode. See, I can go with that.
Yeah, we thought we'd love to do doing this so much, and we love you guys so much, so we thought we'd do another little extra thing on a week-to-week basis. So what we're going to do is, it's rabbiting on, so we're just going to rabbit on about a particular topic, subject, question, whatever you want. So get in touch with us, killerrabbitpodcast@gmail.com, and let us know what you would like us to rabbit on about until that point. And because I, for one, welcome our robot overlords, we're going to be letting ChatGPT suggest the questions and topics. And it's picked some belters, to be fair, so probably better than anything you could do. So maybe we'll just...
I think it's great, ChatGPT.
I like what you
just
use
for the
reverse
record.
psychology.
Yeah, just don't say it then. It doesn't work if you tell
I'm going
them.
for the double bluff.
You can't double bluff an AI, surely.
You can double bluff reverse... No, I'm not about humans.
You can double bluff reverse psychology.
Yeah, it's called forward psychology.
It's called 360 psychology.
Oh,
Just
that
turn
sounds like a
around.
thing. That definitely is a thing somewhere, isn't it? That?
Well, we could start it if it's not.
Let's do it. So, yeah, the robots never run out of ideas as well, so we can keep rinsing that until you send in some suggestions and ideas. But if there's anything you would like us to talk about, get us on the socials if you would like, or, as I say, email us at killerrabbitpodcast@gmail.com. Give us some topics, some things we can discuss that we can rabbit on about, or ask us a question. And that is what the robots have done this week. And they have asked, what useless superpower would you have and why? Benson, I'm posing that question to you.
Why do I have to go first?
What useless superpower would we have?
I only
and
find-
why?
I
Not
only-
just what is a useless superpower.
No, what would you have?
I don't have a useless superpower.
I am super.
Oh, if you had to. If the
Okay.
robots were forcing you to, which they
So
are.
they're like, you have to have a useless
you
superpower.
have to have a superpower and it must be useless, otherwise we will destroy the world. That's ChatGPT.
Should've gone
Stop
more for
doing
it.
impressions of the form
know.
of the future overlords.
I thought ChatGPT would sound more like Stephen Hawking's.
If you are listening.
AI.
Are you?
No.
If you are listening, ChatGPT, then I'm sorry.
Of course it's listening. It's plugged in.
We're plugged into it right now. I'm scared.
Okay, I've got my useless superpower.
Superpower. Go on
The
then,
ability to
Benson.
say words.
In a silly voice. My useless superpower would be to identify recyclable
What? Say that word.
Recyclable.
items.
Recyclable.
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 Yeah.
What's the...
What's
Like
a
when you go psych to something and you
then
think that
you
was
say-
so good.
I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, okay.
Are you recyclable?
Psych again.
recyclable
Yay.
objects without having to read the label. Because recently I've been having arguments about what can be recycled and not. But it also depends on, where you live.
Well, let's have these arguments right now. What arguments have you been
What
having?
can't be recycled, Benson?
So a plastic bottle can be, but the top cannot be.
Some tops can.
So exactly.
Okay,
Some tops
this
can.
is, right, I see.
Right, yeah.
Oh, Benson's on it. He's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, and this is the
Not
exact.
all tops
and
can be.
I'm surprised
It's
they haven't-
confusing.
Like Coca-Cola to be mega awkward. They should, the little ring that stays on the bottle when you take the lid off. That should be the non-recyclable part.
Just to be a fucking dick.
So then the lid and the bottle goes in, and if you don't take that bit off, kills 10 birds at a time.
1/96 of the label is not recyclable. The rest of it is.
You have to
tear
cut it
off
off.
this corner.
And I'm fed up of having to read packaging, so I would like to be able to just know without.
You're fed up
reading.
of reading. That's it's not just because it
Reading,
doesn't matter if it's
but I'd-
packaging
yeah, but
or
I'd like
a
to know
book.
that I'm factually correct every single time.
So you would just like to be an oracle for
Specifically.
recycling.
Yeah,
Recycling.
because
Recycling
if I was an oracle, that would be a useful superpower.
a recycle.
So I've narrowed it down to a very niche area of the world.
Have you seen the new bottles where the cap remains on the bottle and you can't remove it?
Oh yeah.
Can
I've
you
seen that.
recycle it?
Do you know what?
That's the whole point.
Do you know what?
It
I
all
got,
recycles together.
I
so you're
got
not
one
allowed
of
to
those
take
bottles the other day, and I didn't realize. And I just opened it and took the cap off. And I was like, why has this cap half come off and it's still stuck on? They're like, oh, that's one of them new ones.
Yeah.
And I'd ripped the cap half off anyway. It's like,
Killing the planet.
it. How aggressively do you open bottles?
I didn't think it was that aggressive. I just unscrewed it. And I was at work, so.
Another thing that's always made me laugh about bottle, it always says to use your hand to open it. Open by hand. It always says on the top.
Rather than penis.
Well, I always thought it's like, why are people trying to chomp it off or something? It's probably to stop idiots using a bottle opener on a plastic bottle.
I used to have a bottle opener for like plastic bottles.
This is the idiot.
Yeah.
This guy right here.
So that's my superpower that would be useless, but actually quite useful to save the planet.
I know what you mean though, because you don't know where you stand with half these things, and some of them have
Half
like
and half.
images on to denote that they're recyclable.
Oh, yeah.
Other things say I can be recycled because packages talk to you now.
Oh
'Cause
yeah, obviously.
people can't handle things not talking to them. Wackaging, I think you call it.
This is the problem. See, you did that with Minisode. You made a wackaging,
Yeah.
and it's fucking vile.
Yeah, wackaging's horrible. I do like portmanteaus, though. They are good fun. But I know exactly what you mean. I would like to know what's recyclable and what's not. So, is there anything else? Because pieces of paper, recyclable. Shred that piece of paper, no longer recyclable.
Oh yeah, you shred out the soul of the paper, and it's the soul that
It's
is
the soul that they recycle, is
It's
it?
ridiculous.
I don't,
There's
why
no
is it not
soul in that paper.
recyclable?
It chews up machines and stuff.
I think it's
did it
because
get
they
too
can't
thready?
recycle it anymore, or a
Because they
fire
can't shred
hazard.
it any further.
Paper you can melt down, but shredded paper you
melt
can't.
it, melting the paper.
Well, you
they
wet
boil
it,
it.
you
don't
soak,
they?
yeah.
So I always find it weird. You buy something new, you get a box full of polystyrene and stuff. But the polystyrene's not recyclable.
Oh, no, you
Oh,
can't
you
do
can
that.
get in big trouble
yeah,
for putting that
no,
in
you
your
got to take
recycle
it all
bin.
out of the box,
You
and
get
then
shot, don't you?
you take
With
it
a
back,
polystyrene
yeah.
gun. It's a bit. It's
But
a
it's
bit.
really annoying when you get some flat pack and then you have to go around and get all the recycled,
Are you listening,
all
IKEA?
the polystyrene bits out to put in the normal bin, but then you have to break them down and then they go everywhere and you're finding polystyrene balls for years.
They've got those packing peanuts now that are like Watsits, flavourless Watsits that
Yeah,
you
I've
can
seen
eat.
them.
You can eat them.
No.
Yeah, you can eat them. If
Have
you put,
been
if you put
eating
them
packing peanuts?
quite often, you can, if
I
you
eat packing peanuts all the time.
if you put them in water, they dissolve. That's the whole thing. So you can get rid of them just by putting them in water, and they just dissolve.
wet 'em.
I bet.
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
I bet the.
They're wet.
I
Or
bet
eat them
the.
if you may.
I bet the undissolved somewhere else.
That's
though.
like
Bit of salt and pepper on
this is
top.
going to be the
Delicious.
next Tory manifesto. Is you don't need food banks, packing peanuts. You can just eat them.
So that's your superpower then.
That is mine.
That's a pretty good superpower.
I'm
I would
gonna
say.
practice it and see.
I don't think you
where-
can practice a superpower.
You can.
I'm
You
not
just
sure
start
that-
memorizing packaging, don't you?
all the packaging, all of it.
and all the different
keep-
signs and all the
just-
different numbers inside the
You
signs.
just get someone to show you items or tell you an item, and you have to tell them if it's recyclable.
At
or
lightning
not. That's
speed,
practice.
yeah.
Yeah, the quicker
Yeah.
you go. No, it's
Spider,
that is
have you never seen
practice.
Spider-Man doesn't web sling straight away building to building. He falls into signs and brick walls and all
Yeah, he
sorts.
does
Yeah,
have
but he's
to
got the
practice
ability to do
first.
it. hasn't
Yeah,
he?
but
And he's got
I've
the
got the
ability,
ability to remember
know
packaging.
what's recyclable.
Your argument is void.
Fair enough.
What would your superpower be?
My superpower, my useless
See colour.
superpower, would be
That'll be useful for him.
Yeah, that would be super
shit, yeah.
useful. So my useless superpower would be the ability to correct people without correcting them. So, as thus not to appear as the arsehole that corrects people.
Just somehow magically correcting
Yeah,
them.
so if just imagine you see a tweet and they've spelt there wrong, one of the variations of
could
that.
just
And
change it.
I
Those are my
just
tweets.
stare at it, and all of a sudden the person that's written it goes, "Do you know what? I think I did that
Ah,
tweet
okay.
incorrectly."
But they don't delete it.
They absolutely fucking do.
You don't have the power
I
over
do.
whether or
That's-
not they delete it.
That's part of the
No,
superpower.
you
Looks that'd be
corrected
useful.
it in their head,
No.
but you can't make them delete
Well,
it. Right?
as long as they
Stop
remember,
touching the table.
as long as they remember it going forward, it's fine. I've got socks on. It's not noisy.
No, because it's wobbling them.
all right. Okay.
We have other tech here now.
You can't touch it.
I've already kicked the tripod, man.
So,
Anyway, continue.
as long as it affects them going forward, and then they decide to better their ways and not
No,
make
I
silly
think it'd
mistakes.
be useless if they don't correct it. So you can
Yeah,
get them
so
to
you-
remember they've done it wrong, but it'd be useful if you could get them to correct
Well,
it.
it'd be useful for you to be able to recycle things correctly. Well, I think the
No,
essence
you've
of
got
this
the wrong
is
point.
is
You've
a
got the wrong
shit
point of
superpower.
mine. The useful part, I'm not bothered about this. The useless part is that I know.
Well, this is my superpower. Okay, can I,
So you
let
can
me just have
magically-
it.
Okay, you can have it.
Let me just have it.
You can have
Because
it.
it hurts. It hurts when I see things, and I
It must be a pain.
hurts
It
when
must
you
be
see it.
horrible talking to me.
It hurts when I see things.
Yeah, I hate being the guy that's, well, actually. And I'd rather not be
You
the
do
guy
that
that goes,
all
well,
but you
the
are
time.
I
that
know, and I
guy.
can't help it. And I hate it.
Why don't you just not do that?
Because I can't.
Why?
Because
If you're another podcast that Sam listens to and you forget to release an episode, Sam will be onto you on Twitter.
He will
That was
fucking
quick time.
tell you. Or if you post it and there's no audio, he'll tell you.
He'll tell you.
guys, I don't know if you realise. I was
That's what he says as he types it out. Guys, I don't know if you realise.
I was on Twitter the other day, and they've got the For You and following thing now.
Yeah, the
Have you
following.
seen that?
Yeah.
So you've got a feed for everyone you're following, and now they've added a For You, which is people you're not following. It's things that it thinks you want to see.
But it is also
yeah.
a mixed in there.
Yeah.
Is following.
Well, sometimes it just
It just
drifts.
drops them down though, on it.
Yeah,
It's just
sometimes
there.
drifts
Oh, if
over
you've got a
onto
blue
For
tick, you
You.
go to the top.
So basically, what I'm saying, I was looking through some stuff that I wasn't even following, and it was a football related tweet. I apologise, but it was basically this guy was talking about football, and he called him a Spanish international, i.e., he plays for the Spain national team. And somebody corrected this person and said, actually, it's Colombia. But he spelled Colombia wrong. So I went,
Oh, Sam,
not the double
you posted,
down.
didn't
Double down.
You said it, didn't you?
I didn't. I
No!
stared at it for 10 minutes.
Did you have an aneurysm?
And I decided to move on.
How do you spell Colombian wrong?
With a U instead of an O.
Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah, Columbine.
It's Colombia.
It's a
isn't
different
it?
thing
Not
altogether.
Colombia. But I think because there's like Columbia Records, isn't there, which is with a U, and people have seen that and got confused and thought that's how you spell the country.
People are stupid.
Either way, somebody correcting somebody else incorrectly. Oh, the urge was strong.
I bet it was.
The urge was
Were you ready
strong.
to kill him
Yeah, and
and correct him?
everybody else.
Oh, okay, let's change subject then. Adam, what would your apparently useful superpower be?
Useless but useful.
Yeah.
Having consistently regular bowel movements.
Oh my word, that's
Sam's just like,
that's right now. That is speaking to me.
I
Right
you've
now.
had too much Monster.
have pretty regular bowel movements.
But I mean, like to the
9:02
second
9:02 a.m.
regular. I mean, this is like the most clockwork ever.
I've gone from
That's the
shitting.
dream.
See, everyone knows that.
I've gone from shitting through the eye of a needle to being backed up to fuck in the space of about 4 days, and I'm like, come on, some middle ground, please, asshole. Literally. Yeah, I need
Laxatives.
Yeah, some laxative and some fibre and something to,
You need some laxatives with a Imodium chaser.
to get behind it.
Just to really fuck with you.
I'm sure a pint of Monstrum would sort me right out.
That sorts anyone out.
But yeah, that would be pretty cool. Because when you got to
Well, it's not
go, you
meant
got
to
to
be
go,
cool.
aren't you?
Yeah, well,
You could book it out in your calendar.
You'd
and
know
stuff.
exactly, and then no one could say anything. But if there was ever an emergency,
Yeah. Can you attend this meeting on the 17th? Actually, at that time, I'm going to be shitting. So
every day.
What emergency would there be at that specific
Maybe somebody died or was in a car accident and you needed to go.
Well, I'd rather
Maybe
go for
you
a-
were in a car
if
accident
I knew a poo was
and you were
brewing,
stuck
I
at
would
the
still
side
go
of the
for the.
road.
You would just plan your whole life around it. You
Yeah, but
wouldn't.
maybe you were like, oh, I need to get back so I can.
So what you're saying is the useless part is that you have no control over preventing it happening.
Exactly.
It's happening.
It's happening. It's going to be super
You see,
regular.
there is definitely a risk factor to this.
Because if you get stuck in traffic, oh no.
you're going.
And in England,
no.
you never know with traffic.
Yeah, you don't.
It could be 2 a.m. on a sunny night.
Can you not?
Sunny night, 2 a.m. Bright sunlight in the middle of the night. Right, sun
mean,
is
I would-
shining, beaming down
You're
on
in
you.
Iceland, of course.
I can imagine there would be traffic because everyone would be looking up going, what the fuck's happening here?
Sun's beaming down on you. It's a dead of night.
Do you not have the ability to control your sphincter? Is that gone now?
So it's clockwork. It has to be on the
It's
exact
clockwork.
second.
Well,
Yeah.
no. So you'd be like, "Oh, I need to shit because it's 2 o'clock."
yeah, but no, but-
I'll just hold it because I'm in traffic.
No, that's the moment it's coming out.
Oh, that's so you've lost control of your. That is a useless superpower. Congrats!
But
You're
it's-
the only one that's met the brief here.
but
Well
it's super regular. It's super regular, but you can't control it. Yeah, he's got to have a fucking shit side to it, literally.
I like what you did there. When you said literally.
That's tickled Sam with
done.
that one.
It is.
But that's it.
It's mostly
it's
useful.
useful, but also
He's actually taken
gotta
the
be
brief to
careful.
the next level where I said what's your useless but somehow useful thing, and nailed it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
You
Do I win?
You win this week's Rabbiting On. Well done.
I win the first one. Excellent.
And
I didn't
that
realise there was points, but hey.
Is how it's going to work. It's going to be point based.
Are we doing it? Are we point based in the
No,
whole?
there'll be no point, mate.
And then we can bring Lucille into it.
Yeah, we can get the audience to say who won each week.
Yeah, so if you've got a useless superpower, why not get in touch and put it in the comments? Remember, like and subscribe and all that stuff.
Ah, that was horrible.
If you've
And don't put any spelling mistakes on Twitter.
If you've enjoyed this minisode. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the first episode of Rabbiting On. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any subjects, topics, or things you'd like us to discuss or talk about, please get in touch with us on the Schmedia, or you can email us at killerrabbitpodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, and we'll see you on Tuesday for the regular episode. This has been Rabbiting On. I've been Sam.
I've been Benson.
And I've been Adam.